Power Entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Dr. Amanda. And if you're a coach, expert, or service-based business owner, you're in the right place to learn law of attraction strategies that will help you break through to six figures and beyond in your business. And in today's episode, you're going to learn 5 money beliefs that are blocking you from rapid business growth. So the backstory of this episode, and this is a shout out to someone I just did a consult with recently. She said, you got to do an episode on this, and shared with me what I'm about to share with you. And I said, ooh, that's a great idea. So here I am doing an episode on money mindset, because we were talking and she shared that she had spent the last 20 years working on her mindset, reading books, working with coaches, focusing on empowering her mindset. And she said recently she started to very specifically focus on money mindset. She was listening to my podcast and just getting tapped back into that world of money mindset. And she said she realized how different focusing specifically on money mindset is than just mindset in general. And I thought about this because one of my main things that I teach is money mindset. For those of you who have been with me for a long time, you know that I went from food stamps to six figures in my business. And part of that journey was me helping people very specifically with their money mindset. So I would write money stories with high power people that I was working with, different types of entrepreneurs, sometimes, brick and mortar businesses, sometimes couples, sometimes entrepreneurs. And in these groups, the first one I had was a wealth building group. We wrote this money story, and I started to understand that we all have patterns and similarities in our thinking about the way that we interact with money. And so I thought, it's so true. You could focus on a relationship mindset, and that's going to give you a specific skill set in having empowered relationships. For me, I broke through a lot of codependency issues when I started into my personal growth and development world. Then that led me to confidence. It led me to thinking about how to own my power, which is part of the reason I love the word power, because when you're disempowered, everything else in life, business, money, relationships stinks. So you got to work on your personal empowerment. When I started working on that, then this led me down the road to money mastery. So my 3 pillars in my company are personal power, win-win relationships, and money mastery. And so money beliefs are critically important. And she's right. If you're focusing on your mindset around relationships, it's going to be a different skill set that you learn around money and even business growth. And I do think that money mindset is one of the most key critical components to your business success. If you want to experience rapid business growth, one of the most impactful things you can do is work on your money beliefs. And that's why it's the core of everything I teach. Every program I bring people into always has them write money stories and break through their unconscious money blocks. Because if you have unconscious money blocks holding you back, your income can only grow to the extent that you do. I really want you to think about this. Right now, your income is a reflection of your money beliefs. Your income is a reflection about how you feel about your services that you offer, how to promote them, how many people you work with in terms of your level of impact, because money is just an exchange of value. That's all it is. So if you aren't experiencing the flow of money that you desire to have, it's because you just aren't bringing enough value yet in a way that people can understand. And so there's tweaks that can be made. But it's really important for you to know my income can only grow to the extent that I do. So, my main philosophy that I teach from is that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So if you don't like what you're getting on the outside, AKA in this situation, money, then change what's within. Your mindset, your belief system, your energy, your relationship around money. And so what happens when you do this is that you can attract financial abundance because your belief system will match high wealth consciousness. And when I'm talking about high wealth consciousness, what that means is that you've trained yourself, you've programmed your state of being to look for opportunities to make money. You have trained your state of being to know that there are millions of ways to make billions of dollars. You've trained your programming to look for the easiest possible ways to make money, to have your money make money for you. And so when you're out in the world and you're interacting with people, you start to have opportunities come to you easily that are going to help you increase your net worth. And, I like to promote the formula that net worth equals income plus money management. And so in the bubble of that would be your belief system behind money, because if your net worth is low, it means that somewhere you're stuck not making enough income, or you're stuck making the income, but you don't know how to manage it. And what that says to me is that you have an issue with your money belief system. So today I want to give you 5 money beliefs, and I could give you hundreds. We're just going to focus on these 5 today, and I'll keep bringing these back. It'd be helpful for me if you join me in the Facebook group and let me know what you want to hear more about in the podcast. And if you want me to keep going through breaking down money beliefs, I want to know that. So head on over to Inner Power Entrepreneur on Facebook groups, join, and share with me what you want to hear more of on the podcast. I love to hear from you. So like I said, today we're just going to focus on these 5 that I see come up for clients a lot. So number 1, I don't have the experience to attract high-paying clients. So remember, my inner power formula is 3 steps. Number 1, recognize. Number 2, reframe. And number 3, repeat to reprogram. So we're going to apply the inner power formula to this belief so that you can see how to start breaking it down if you're stuck believing these beliefs. So again, number 1, I don't have the experience to attract high-paying clients. I see this with so many people who are pre-6-figure. When they come to work with me, they are charging not even close to enough for their services. And this is one of the things that they'll say, well, I don't have the experience, so I've got to do it for free, or I've got to not charge a lot. And this really is rooted in imposter syndrome problems. So recognize that if you believe this, you're struggling with imposter syndrome, probably negative self-comparison, which means you're seeing other coaches or, business owners who are ahead of you in the game, and you're thinking, well, I don't know as much as them, so I could never charge blank amount, whatever it is for you. And also recognize that in this limiting money belief that you don't have the experience, you are stuck with minimizing your worth and your value. It means that you struggle with not enoughness, that you're feeling like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got to have a ton of experience. And I want you to reframe this belief by knowing, first of all, that is just not true. Remember that you don't need to have a ton of years of experience to impact somebody very powerfully. When I did my very first sessions with people, I was a startup coach, and I would sit with them and have insanely powerful conversations, and they would walk away with so many breakthroughs, and their life was forever transformed. That's from 1 hour of sitting together and just being a good coach, right? And that's just by having a powerful conversation. I can't tell you how badly people are longing to be heard and to have space held for them to share their lives. I really learned this when I did interviews with incarcerated men for my dissertation research. I'd sit in a room with men who had been incarcerated for on average 18 years, and I did these life history interviews. So I had this giant calendar, and we would fill out the story of their life, and they would cry to me and share things that they said. Over 90% of the men that shared their stories with me said, I've never told this to anybody else before. And it was like such a gift for them, for me to just sit and hear them. So you are minimizing your value when you think you don't know enough to help somebody. I promise you, if you've decided to own a business where you serve people, it's because you have a skill that you're probably minimizing, and you think, well, would anyone pay for this? Because it's so automatic to you, and it's in your zone of genius, and it's something you care about helping people transform, which means that you're ahead of them in the game. So the reframes here is, my value lies in my unique skills and expertise that can attract clients who are willing to pay a premium. So that's a long one. Let's shorten it to another one. I only need to be 1 step ahead of my clients to get results. Okay, so if you're struggling with this thought, I don't have the experience to attract high-paying clients, just reframe it by realizing I only need to be 1 step ahead of my clients to get results. And remember that people will pay a lot of money for results. I want you to think about what you've paid for in your life that has changed your life. What is that worth to you? What are the long-term benefits of increasing your health, increasing your wealth, having better relationships, building your business more successfully? Whatever type of coach or consultant you are changing lives. And how do you put a value on that? Right? So you must learn to value yourself more. If you're afraid you don't have the experience, I promise you that you're minimizing yourself if you're struggling with this belief. Okay. Number 2, this is the second limiting belief that you might have about money that's blocking you from rapid business growth. So charging more will scare clients away. Charging more will scare clients away. I had a woman say this to me once on a webinar, and I've heard people say this many, many times. They go, well, if I up-level my prices, aren't I going to lose people? Here's what I want you to recognize with this belief. You're getting paid for results. And I know we just talked about this, but you're getting paid for results, not dollars for hours. And you got to break down your thinking about getting paid dollars for hours. Instead, you're getting paid for results. So charging more as you experience more, as you develop your expertise, as you get more results for people, it makes sense for you to charge more. You're minimizing yourself if you don't. And I want you to remember that results are what you're getting paid for. I love the example of this where you think about it's a common story where there's an airplane tech who goes in and fixes an airplane that's been grounded for a long time. And, it takes him 5 minutes. And the owner of the plane, after he comes out after 5 minutes and fixes it, goes, he says it'll be $5,000. And the owner of the plane's like, what? It took you 5 minutes to fix it. And the guy's like, well, I could go back and undo what I did, but it took me years of experience and teaching and learning to be able to go fix this in 5 minutes. It's $5,000, right? So that's getting paid on results, not dollars for hours. And so that's what you want to start setting your mindset up for. So you're reframing your mindset to know that you get paid for results. And up-leveling your prices attracts people who are all in. And remember, this is critical. People value what they pay for. What I mean by this is when you give things away for free or too low of cost, they aren't all in, then you can't get them the same results, which means now your reputation is diminished. I always tell my people that I'm, in a consult with, if I know I can help them, I say, I'm all in for you and your success is my reputation. So let's say someone comes to me and I don't think I can get them the results. I'm going to send them away to someone else because their success is my reputation. And that is what allows me to continue to be able to charge, some of my programs, of course, are lower cost for people who are earlier in stages in the business, and some of my programs are higher cost. I charge what I'm worth based on the results I know I can get for the right avatar, right? So when I'm talking to somebody, if I don't think I can get them results, I send them somewhere else because it's not a win-win exchange if I can't get them results. If I know I can get them results, then what is that worth to them? That is worth so much in their life. I always tell people, you're one thought away from millions of dollars. And if I can help you have that one thought away shift, what is the value of that? So I want you to start playing with this in your mind. So reframes here would be setting a higher price can attract clients who appreciate and recognize the value of my work. So setting a higher price attracts clients who appreciate and recognize the value of my work. And then another one is charging higher prices attracts serious action-taking clients who get results. So you don't want to be giving things away for free. And I bet that you have experienced this, and just think about if you've ever given anything away for free and how undedicated those people are. Those are the people you've got to chase down to be like, are you coming to this thing? Are you going to be there? Are you going to show up? Because they don't value it. They haven't paid for it. They're not in. You got to be all in. It's why I also don't give things away for free, because you got to have skin in the game. You got to be committed. And money is a representation of you paying for something you value. You will always come up with money for things that you value. Okay, so charging more doesn't scare clients away. It attracts the right clients who you can get results for. Number 3, I gotta work hard to make more money. This is one of the most common beliefs I see for new entrepreneurs or pre-6-figure entrepreneurs is if I just work really, 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 really hard all the time, then I'll make all the money. And what I want you to recognize here is that results and money magnetism come from energetic alignment with wealth consciousness. And the easiest way to see this is that think about some of the hardest working people you see, working 18 hours a day, doing physical, laborious jobs. Some of them make the least amount of money. So it isn't hard work that makes money. Right? It's strategic energy and input, and it's aligning your energy to look for opportunities and to strategically come up with solutions and get paid for results, especially as an entrepreneur. One of the greatest gifts of being an entrepreneur is that you do get to set your prices and you do get to get results for people. And, it's just as much work to sell something for $27 as it is to sell something for $2,700 or something for $97 versus $10,000, right? It's just a shift in your mindset and charging what you're worth and getting paid for results and attracting the right people who can pay for that. So you want to pay attention to this. If you're thinking, I got to work harder to make money, you want to reframe this to, I choose to align my energy and work smarter, not harder. So it's all about strategy. It's all about you reconditioning yourself and reprogramming yourself for money magnetism. So stick around with me because that's what I teach here. Another reframe on this belief is by being strategic and focusing on more profitable opportunities, I can maximize my income without burning myself out, right? So be strategic. I choose to be strategic and focus on profitable opportunities. That's a great reframe here. So I choose to be strategic and attract easier ways to make money. I often say to myself, work less, make more, have fun. Work less, make more, have fun. How do I look for opportunities to work less, make more, and have fun? And what I mean by that is work in your zone of genius. When you're working in your zone of genius, you feel like you're playing and it doesn't feel like work, so you're working less. That causes you to be more magnetic to money, which means you make more and you're having fun as you're doing it. So that's my mantra, my motto. It's my whole makeup of how I think about doing my business. I'm like, all right, how do I make the easiest money possible? How do I have the fastest paths to cash in the largest amount in the easiest ways? That's a win-win-win for everyone involved, including myself. So always in the highest good of all. And I've trained my mind to look for these opportunities. This did not happen to me originally. I definitely was one of those people that believed you got to work hard to make money. It's still a money block that I break through all the time. I had a really big shift lately where I've noticed myself saying no to opportunities that I'm like, oh, and I say in my mind almost immediately, that sounds like hard work, which is not typical for me. I'm like, oh, wow, I've finally actually reprogrammed my subconscious mind, because in the past I would have had FOMO. And when people brought an opportunity to me, I would just want to say yes, no matter what, even if it sounded like hard work or wasn't aligned with my zone of genius. And lately it's my first automatic response to go like, no way, that sounds like hard work, which I'm like, yes, I've finally reprogrammed my subconscious mind. So that's how you know you've reprogrammed your subconscious mind, when you start to have different automatic responses. Now you've trained yourself in a new direction. So that's a great sign. So I want you to start reprogramming yourself for easier ways to make money. And when you start asking the question, how can I find easier ways to make larger amounts of money serving more people, you start then programming your reticular activating system, your RAS. It's a brain mechanism that has you scanning your surroundings for what you believe to be true or what you've programmed your mind with. It's kind of like going into Google and plugging in input. It comes out with answers. So when you put a question into your brain, like, how can I make easier money? Your brain wants to start to solve the problem, because your brain is a problem-solving operating system. And so that's what it wants to do. When you do these reframes, it starts looking for something new. And when you repeat, it reprograms you. And then you have those different automatic subconscious responses. And then you can attract from a different state of being, which now means you make easier money. All right, number 4. Here's another limiting belief that I see come up for entrepreneurs. The market is too saturated for me to make good money. Have you ever said this to yourself? I really want you to ask yourself and be honest so you can recognize if you have this belief. The market is too saturated for me to make good money. I hear people say this a lot. Like when they're talking about podcasting, I hear this a lot, or writing a book, or being a coach, or, oh, I want to help people with their relationships, but there's just already so many relationship coaches out there. So here's what I want you to recognize if you have this belief going on. This is like saying that no one should ever write another book because there are already too many. We all know that that is not true, right? What's true is that there are millions of ways to make millions of dollars, and people buy your unique skills, and you can be water in the desert for someone. And what I mean by that is pretend that when you're selling, you are the answer to someone's prayers. I had someone say this to me on a consult the other day, and it made me want to cry and jump up for joy, because I was like, that's exactly what I teach my people, is that you are the answer to someone's prayers. She said those words to me. She said, oh my God, you're the answer to my prayers. I was like, yes, that means I've connected with the right person. I'm providing the right opportunities, and I can help transform her life. I can get her results, right? So Are there a million business coaches out there? Absolutely. So what if I had the belief, oh, the market's too saturated, I'm not even going to try? What if I had that belief about podcasting? Oh, there's too many podcasts out there, I'm not even going to do it. None of that is true. You will carve out your own way with your unique gifts, and you're going to attract the right people to work with you uniquely, your unique gifts and your unique skills, because however you say it and promote it and put it out there based on the law of attraction, you're going to attract the people who have been looking for exactly what you have in the way that you share it. And so you're unique, and there's plenty of room for everybody. It's an abundance mindset to know that there's plenty of room for everybody. It's not a saturated market, okay? So the reframes here: in a saturated market, I can stand out by providing a unique and valuable service that meets the specific needs of my target audience. That's a long reframe, but this is the way I want you to start thinking about it. In a saturated market, I can stand out by providing a unique and valuable service that meets the specific needs of my target audience. And just a simple reframe here is: there's always room for me. There's always room for me. There's always room for what I offer. There's always room. In an abundance mindset, you're thinking, my unique skills can serve millions. My unique skills can serve millions. There's always room for you. Okay. The fifth limiting money belief I see come up for a lot of entrepreneurs is: if I help everyone and do everything myself, I'll make more money. Ooh, this goes back to working too hard to make money, right? So I got to work harder to make money. This ties to this one big time. It's FOMO based. It's fear based. It's I'd say imposter syndrome based. It's definitely a beginning stage of business based. So when you're pre-six figures, this comes up for people a lot. They're afraid to delegate. They want to help everyone because they think they're going to miss out if they don't. And what you need to know and recognize here that's critically important is scattered energy leads to scattered results. So in this stage and in this belief, I often tell people, hey, your scattered brand is causing scattered results. So scattered energy leads to scattered results. And what I mean by that is when people don't really understand what you stand for, how are they going to work with you? You've got like 3 seconds when someone comes to your website for them to know that they're in the right place, for them to go, oh, I know that this is who, like I'm in the right place. Like, do you even know who they are working with? Do you know the result you're going to get when you're talking to people? If you're saying, oh, I help people with, I see this a lot on people's websites or when they're talking, I help people feel better in life. I help them with aging. I help with relationships and their mindset. And you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's like a ping pong ball and your brain can't pay attention to that many things at once. And when you're confused, when you're talking to people, they're definitely confused. And confused minds don't sell. Confused minds don't buy. So scattered energy leads to scattered results. So if you think you need to help everyone, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot and you're causing a lot of resistance for brand growth and for business growth. So reframes here would be: I choose to narrow my focus to expand my freedom. I choose to narrow my focus to expand my freedom. And then by delegating and serving my niched audience powerfully, I can deliver the highest quality services to my 5-star clients. So to overcome this money belief, you've got to niche down, nail your niche, get really clear about who you serve, how you powerfully get results for them. Just reverse engineer what you did to get the results for yourself in one specific area and start selling that. And then you only need to be one step ahead. You get them powerful results and you will become a client magnet machine. Oh yeah, that's what we want. All right. Let's recap the 5 beliefs. So number 1, I don't have the experience to attract high-paying clients. Number 2, charging more will scare clients away. Number 3, I got to work harder to make more money. Number 4, the market is too saturated for me to make good money. And number 5, if I help everyone and do everything myself, I'll make more money. So I really want you to recognize for yourself, are any of these a struggle for you? If they are, listen to the reframes, practice them, repeat them. Listen to this episode. Hang out with me in my Facebook group. Hang out with me by reading my book. Hang out with me in my group coaching program. Like, there are so many options for you. Go to innerpowerentrepreneur.com. innerpowerentrepreneur.com. It's the name of the podcast. So just type that in. And there are a ton of free and paid resources for you there to continue to help you up-level your money mindset, break through your money blocks, and then access law of attraction strategies to help you break through to 6 figures and beyond in your business. yes, I can't wait to hang out with you. I can't wait to work with you. I look forward to helping you get everything you want as an entrepreneur. This is my heart, my soul, my inspiration, my genius. I love, love, love to help you succeed. So come hang out with me in the Facebook group and in all the other things that I offer. Go to innerpowerentrepreneur.com. Until our next episode, I'm sending you giant hugs and money magnet inner power high fives.